Like,
If you are able to hear your own voice, then you have configured Skype correctly. If you hear this message, but not your own voice, then something is wrong with your audio recording settings. Please check your microphone and microphone settings or visit skype.com for more help. Thank you for using the Skype call testing service.
Can you all
Goodbye.
hear me? Can you hear me?
J.
Okay. With your permission, I'm going to mute your IDs till the QA session to keep focus on the presentation. Okay. Okay, please tell me in message if you can see the screen.
हम देख सकते हैं.
Okay. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A formal Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you all to this orientation session and intro webinar on AI. Okay, artificial intelligence is a future-oriented technology, as you know, that it will surround the world in near future. We must be aware of the opportunities and risk associated with this technology. So, we are going to organize a workshop on in the month of November and December on AI. So, today is the orientation session for that workshop. Okay, without wasting your time, I'm sharing the agenda of this 30-minute session. We will first have speech of our honorable speaker, Sir Tanveer Khan, on the importance of artificial intelligence, and then speech by Sir Hussain Shahbaz for the course outline, and that are going to be followed during the workshop. Last 5 minutes are dedicated for the question answer session, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible. But if the time gets short, we will post the remaining answer on the website. Okay. So you can type your questions during the speech, okay? We already have shared introduction of Sir Tanveer Khan. He has experience of about 20 years in AI industry, and right now he is in California and it is about 3 a.m. there, and we are very thankful to him. Before he start telling us importance of AI and importance of this workshop, this his availability at this time for us is already telling a lot about the importance of this topic and this session. We are very thankful to you, sir. Please take the lead, Sir Tanveer Khan. Okay.
Do you guys hear me fine?
Yes, we can.
Well, thank you
Yes.
so much for a great introduction. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. And yes, it is true. It's about 3 a.m. in the morning here, and I barely had any sleep. Was traveling from East Coast to West Coast last night, so my biggest fear was that I'm gonna sleep over and now going to be available for this webinar. But it's a great pleasure of mine here to be with you all, and my whole purpose here is to be here to just to give you an introduction from the AI perspective, not from the technology, but from the industry perspective, from the business perspective, why the needs are there, and as you, as the audience here that are looking to attend or even looking to enhance your career or even to looking from the management side, even a technical side, the most important factor is that we need to know the what and why part. I think those are two very important factors in any even in any technology that we get into it. Mostly our technology. I've been in the industry for almost 25 plus years, but I'll give you my little bit background later. But I'm trying to set up an expectation here for this particular webinars to have a mindset and a level set the expectation that that before we get into any technology on a how part, the why and the what part is very very important to understand for any technologist, any management, or any business person. Know why we using the technology or why when we're building the technology, and what is the reason behind it, what value we're going to bring into that. So those are the factors are very very important, and so this is a great opportunity for me to address myself for to this audience. So a little bit about myself. I just move on really quickly, and I have a tendency of linger on and kind of repeating same things, different words, because I like to make sure that everyone understand me and everyone understand the value behind it. So if I do that, just kind of ignore it and I kind of try to go with the flow. Now the time is essence here, so I'm going to be trying to get as quickly as possible. Like I said, this purpose is not to dump all the knowledge on you, but the purpose here is to get you the gist of it from the different perspective. So now a little bit about myself. I have been in been technologist for since 1992. Basically, that's my career has been started with my software engineering degree. So being on hands-on technologist, then move on to the management. So for mainly that what really got me intrigued into the AI part was that I think the part that actually provides the information to help you to make informed decisions. And my beliefs are, which actually took it from Qaeda Azam, that I heard his speech a long time ago in some recording, that had said there's no wrong decisions. Every decision's right. And you take the decision, you make it right. So I think this statement of Qaeda Azam really goes with this subject is because this helps us now to make that decision, but informed decisions. So that decision is not like there's no decision wrong, but we can make informed decisions for our future and provide us a predictability. So here I am basically. I have worked with a lot of big organizations in my career. I had a great opportunity. Allah has blessed me with that. So I was very lucky about that. So my background comes from a very diversified experience from finance to commodity trading. So I have worked in the financial side of it, um, investment side of it, investment financial as well as banking. Worked on the airline side of it as well, the traveling, hospitality. So that's a broad experience I got. I think that I was lucky enough to do this because a lot of people actually have maybe one or two or three jobs in their lives. Uh, this actually brought me in a very different level. It brought me a different perspective of looking at things on an enterprise level, and as well as from the goals and objective and strategy side of it, that how the company executed. So this is a little my own statement that actually came up with that I said artificial. Can you bring it up for a little bit? I'm still on the previous slide. Don't move it. Go up there. I got to read what I wrote there. Thank you. So this is my own thing. I'm known as more like a advisor. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself later on. I believe that artificial intelligence, it's all about the mindset. It's a mindset of knowledge engineering that drives to deliver values incrementally. and by applying lean data of information as what, and this is what I actually preach. This is what I actually believe in when it comes to artificial intelligence. I don't care about the how part is. And if you have not nailed down your what part and why part, you will not be able to deliver a solution, or even you are in a position that are making a decision for your organization, or if you are a student and moving forward in being a technologist or being a hands-on technical person, if this is not has grained in your mind, you will not be able to deliver a successful either decision or even a solution. We can move on to the next slide. So just a quick synopsis on myself. I already talked about the industry. Pretty much my background comes from, like I said, technology. I have a master's in technology management, and also I have done the robotics engineering master's in there. I don't know what got me into to get the second master's. I never thought I will have a second master's in my profile. But the story behind that was that my wife, at that time, she was actually got accepted at Yale University. So to me, as a being a man, I was it was a challenge for me. I said, "Well, Yale is a name, so how come I didn't get into it?" So that was not a biggest thing. Was the biggest thing was that I had a little wish to go to school with or go to college or school with my wife. So I wanted to experience that. And at the time that I was working for a company that was paying for the education, they've given the reimbursement, so it wasn't costing me anything. So I said, "Hey, let's get in." And her background was in finance, and I convinced her to go into technology. That was a third reason that I thought I would be able to help her, transitioning her from her financial uh, skill set to a technology skill set where she had no background, and that's how I actually ended up getting my second degree. And she amazingly got pushed her into robotics engineering, so we both got a master's in that. I think that's enough said about me. Let's move on to the next slide. So this is a little bit about my company, so you guys have a little bit more information about myself. I have been entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. My first company I started, and currently I'm running a company with the name of SDI, which is on the U.S. side of it, and have kicked off a company in Pakistan as well. My dream is about in Pakistan is to bringing as much as the knowledge and stack of skills, and kind of merging the two world into one and develop the skill level in Pakistan. I think that is the part. We have a great talent in Pakistan. We have very smart people. I think that my beliefs are, and I think you guys will also agree with me on that part, that we have lacking the opportunities, and lacking of the opportunities is becoming impediments for folks like you and other folks who are the talented folks, kind of slowing them to grow into, enhance into their skill stacks and slowing them down into their career path. So that's my goal for next 5 years. But this a little bit about my company is that it's divided into four different areas. As you can see, research and development is very important. I believe in that area is to continuously my organization continuously developing, researching in different innovations. We do a lot of explorations. The second part is we highly believe in quality. So we brought the quality into a manufacturing side of it, provided our consultancy and our skill set on the manufacturing from technology side, hardware side of it, to all the way to consumer product side of it. And then the commercial and transformation consulting. The transformation consulting is a strategic mindset concept behind it, more like an innovation, and we actually put our artificial intelligence services as a part of transformation consulting because we believe that these days the companies are reinventing themselves and incorporating and integrating into artificial intelligence. So therefore, it needs a transformation, and transformation comes with not from the technology implementation, but it comes from the whole culture change, and the culture change is how we do the things. It's not like the companies are doing the things wrong way, but they now do the things different way. and showing the and implementing the best practices within the organizations that evolve into a transform them into a new culture. So that's what the last part is. Um, we can move on to the next one. Okay. I'm not sure how many folks you know, but a lot of people that I come across really think the artificial intelligence is something very new. I'm sure some of you have or have experienced or read about it. That it's really nothing new about it. About artificial intelligence, it's really have been coined back in 1950s. 50s. That's where it's actually the first started. It became more popular today, and we really thanks to increased data volumes and all the advanced algorithms and improvement in computing power and storage. So therefore, there's more utilization of the AI. But the whole concept was between 1950s and there it was under the explorations between 19 and 70s. And as you can see, then between 1980s to 10, 30 years, it became more evolved into a machine learning part of it. And now in the present day, we are in a deep learning. It's not just alone machine learning, but they all incorporate together. It's nothing has been that one has been obsoleted to the other one. So in early AI research back in the 1950s, just to give you a little bit of history if you haven't heard of it, it explored the topics like problem solvings and more symbolic methods. And 60s is where the U.S. Department of Defense have took the interest in this type of work. So they began like training technologies. They have start training the computers to mimic a human reasoning. So, for example, that DARP, we call it DARPA, which is the Defense Advanced Research project agencies, completed that the street mapping back in 1970s. And the DARPA produced the more intelligent personal assistants back in 2003. And before long, well, we'll experience Siri in iPhone and Alexa and Cortana for the household names. These are the things that are really evolved from the technology that already existed. So there's nothing really new about this artificial intelligence. Like I mentioned, it's started way back, and now the whole thing is we have seen these all the AIs um, um, features or in Hollywood movies or science fiction novels about the human-like robot, that's going to take over. The current evolution of the AI technology isn't that scary. It's not really quite that smart. Believe me, we're thinking that it's just such a smart thing, but it's not. It's not as smart enough at the moment that it's going to take over the whole world and there'll be no human. Yes, we are getting there. That's where the future is heading to, and that's where um, the innovative uh, organizations are gearing towards and keep enhancing, improving. But it's really helpful in a lot of different areas and industries. And I'd like to move on to the next slide to give the other information on that. Okay. So again, like I was mentioning about what exactly about what we really call it AI. Can machine really think? And this is not my statement, by the way. I don't want to take the credit for that statement. This statement is, if you guys ever heard of the mathematicians Alan Turing. Alan Turing back in 1950s really asked the question: can really machine think? So, and later on, the time has gone by. The more research was done on this part, and this questions was approached and researched by a lot of other people and during that time, and they're unifying their work around the theme of can really machine work can think, and they came up with there's a four different agents in machines. If we have the four different agents in the machine, then machines can think. And with this in mind, what they have done is that they have actually done the four different areas. Like I mentioned here, um, there's two different areas or eight. You call it agents. You could call it approaches. Different preference of words. of choices of words. But historically, the way it's defined was that thinking humanly and thinking rationally, and then acting humanly and acting rationally. If those are the four factors are involved, and out of the four factors, the first two ideas concerns thought processes and reasoning. So while the others deal with the behavior, and this is combining all these four factors is actually give us a artificial intelligence. It really makes the machine think. And this was the concept that actually was uh, um, it was came up at the back in MIT, and from the computer science, that if we actually take the algorithms and enabled by constraints and exposed by representation that support models targeted at the loops, then we can able to have that thinking and perception and action together. So hope I'm not confusing you all, but trying to make it as simple as possible because I know we have a various audience here that some are could be have more knowledge, and the other could have the least amount of knowledge. So I'm trying to keep my um, keep my presentation here as on the middle level here. So this is the while these definition may seem as abstract to the average person, but they really help focus the field as an area of computer science that provide the real true blueprint for infusing machines and programs with machine learning and other subsets of artificial intelligence. You know, um, and AI is really is like when you think about the AI as it's we have to really think from the perspective is what value it can bring, what value it can deliver, because every each of the subset or even the system itself is designed for a particular purpose, right? So the having the purpose to know what purpose is behind it and what this system able to perform tasks that really the ordinary require human intelligence may do, right? So many of these artificial intelligence systems are powered by machine learning, and some of them are powered by deep learning. I won't get into the depth of each topic. Like it says, we are limited on time, but that's the basic of the concept is. We can move on to the next one. Okay. So here is the other way of looking at it. So this is as you see the numbers on this slide. There's a 24, 50%, 29%, and all of that. So the research associated with the artificial intelligence is highly technical and specialized. But the core problems of the artificial intelligence include computer programming, right? We all know about that. But for certain traits such as like knowledge, reasoning, problem solving, perception, learning, planning, all of that part they are the all core part of AI research, you know, and machines can often act and react like humans only if they have abundant information relating to the world. If they don't have abundant information relating to the world, it's useless. It does not do anything for anybody. It won't bring any value to it. So the artificial intelligence must have access to the object, or categories of the of properties or relationship between all of them to implement knowledge engineering, and that's the combination that combine together. And once it does that, it initiate common sense, and reasoning and problem solving power in machines is become the more tedious and more difficult task. However, I always said nothing is difficult. I have said nothing is hard. It's the understanding behind it. So that's very important. Again, I'm going back to my initial statement. It's all about the mindset. So you have as an individual, as you are getting into this, even as from the management perspective, or even as a hands-on technical, you're going to learn things. Make sure that their mindset is more on driving the value, but driving is how we and why and what reason we need this information for, and how we're going to collaborate this information for what reasoning, and what at the end what problem we're solving. And because problems are opportunities and problems drive solutions, right? So we at the end is providing solutions. If there's no solutions to it, we have not succeeded. You know, uh, now machine learning is became the core part of AI, right? So learning without any kind of supervision requires an ability to identify patterns and streams of inputs and versus outputs. Now there is a difference between outputs and outcome. So the focus should be that when we are actually looking at any data, if, or that we are developing something or creating something in artificial intelligence, what exactly the outcome is. Don't focus on the output. There's a difference between output and outcome. Outcome drives value, and output just drives the productivity, right? So, can somebody mute that, please? It's kind of distracting. Okay, thank you. We can move on to the next one here. You can go into the next slide. Okay. So I just like for today purposes, I just say, hey, like, why do we, if we're getting into this thing, why the AI is so important, right? So I put kind of bullet points here, but there's a lot of things behind for each bullet point. So I'll go through very quickly just to describe you. Like AI automates repetitive learning and discovery through data. So AI is different from hardware driven robotic automation. Instead of automating a manual task, AI performs frequent high volume computerized tasks, reliable and without any fatigue. That's what it means. The second part is the AI adds intelligence now to existing products or even to products or software, products or hardware as well. In most cases, AI will not be sold as an individual application. Without that, if it's not going to be adding any value to it. So rather, products you already use will be improved with AI capabilities, and that's what's happening. That's where the companies are evolving themselves with their products, either consumer based or it's B2B. You know, the number three is here the AI adopts through progressive learning algorithms. So let the data do the job because data do the programming. So AI finds structure and regularities in data, so the algorithm requires the skills. So algorithms becomes a classifier or classify mean as a protector. So just as the algorithm can teach itself how to play chess, it can teach itself what product to recommend next online. I'm sure you have experienced it. Any experienced user who probably bought online, Amazon is a great example. Amazon is the actually the advocate and as well as the champion on the AI on the commerce side of it. You know, Facebook is getting there. Facebook is also is it's actually doing a lot of things. Face recognitions. It gives you the people you may know. It comes all from the behavior and the human behavior they learn. So those are a few examples that you guys have already experienced it, and I don't think so. I have to go into a lot of those examples because most of you know what relates to that. The other part is the analyzes more and deeper data. So using neural networks that have many hidden layers, this is building like a fraud detection system with 5 hidden layers was almost impossible in about a few years ago. Now this has changed incredibly, and because of the computer power and the big data. You know, before we had an AI, but the big data was the concept of big data wasn't there. So it made more give them more power to giving into those depth of the data to provide those information and collaborate on those information. The other fifth one is the achieves incredible accuracy. So through deep neural networks, which was previously impossible, for example, that your interaction with Alexa or Google search or like a Google Photos are based on the deep learning. So and they keep getting more accurate the more we use them. So in a medical field, AI techniques from deep learning, like image classification or the object recognitions, that can be used to find a cancer in MRI. So with the same accuracy as highly as trained radiologists. can do it. So this is what this powerful, um, powerful uh, AI, powerful of AI is actually producing, and that's where the companies are realizing it. So the last one is get the most out of the data. If you can't get the most out of the data from the self-learning, or the data itself can become intellectual property, you're not providing the value. The answer is really hidden in the data. So, and you just have to apply the AI to get them out. And since the role of the data is now more important than ever before, it can create a competitive advantage. So that's where the company is also giving the competitive advantage. And it's all about, at the bottom line, for the company is not to give the free innovation or create information. It's about how much revenue it generates. All right, we can move on to the next one. Okay, so this is just the part that I've touched. That is the industry that out there using AI, or transforming themselves into AI, or evolving themselves to AI. It's endless. I just gave a few example of the what I have worked in. Healthcare is picking up very, very heavily. Financial banking, artificial intelligence enhance the whole the precisions and effectiveness of human effort. So in financial institutes, AI techniques are used to identify which transactions are likely to be fraudulent. It adopt fast, accurate credit scores, and as well as automate manual intense data management task. In healthcare, it's like I just mentioned example of the cancer and MRI. Other are that it provide personalized medicine as well. X-ray readings, retail is also we experience in retail on a daily basis, especially online. It provides all the virtual shopping capabilities that offer personalized recommendation. Manufacturing is a big thing. I know it's lacking in Pakistan, and we are a very huge, big um, manufacturing country there. But the the understanding of that, how to utilize is the technology is minimum. I'm not saying it's not there, but it's very minimum. It can analyze the factory Internet of Things data as it streams from connected equipments to forecast expected load or demand using the recurrent networks. So it's endless. The opportunities are totally endless. So can we go on the next one? All right, so I'm going to skip this because I know we are kind of running out of time. This is just actually showing you, even in marketing, not only just retail, but if you just look at the marketing part of that, uh, if you look at just the marketing part of this, so in marketing, it's really picking up as well for the automation of the marketing. It is available for not only marketing, but artificial intelligence is also getting available in process implementation. So this was actually, I put it in there to give you more depth how this can really apply, even just an example. I know you guys have experience on Google or Amazon or other areas, but most people never have experienced how the marketing can take the advantage of this technology, you know. So this is actually showing that area, but I think I'm going to skip it. We already at 6:30. What time is it right there? 9:30, 3:34, right? My computer's just showing Eastern time here. Are we running out of time, facilitator?
Yes, we are already late. You
We're
want to
late, right?
complete this slide?
This slides actually leads on to other
Okay, you
slides.
can.
So, but this was examples that I wanted to actually just go through that, just to implement more like implementation examples, how this basically, and I took as a marketing example as a more better way because at least people have more knowledge on the marketing side of it, that how it applies, and this shows the different areas of marketing. Like there's in marketing is divided by, like, you need to understand the concept behind the market before you actually apply the artificial intelligence into market. Um, but like marketing is divided as reach, act, convert, and engage. These are the four different areas that that any marketers or marketing companies um, look for it. So if you ever developing something, a tool or AI tool, or if you're developing embedding the AI, you need to understand the concept behind that industry. You have to understand the concept behind that business model, or even the understand of the organization departments, the why, what exactly how they work before you actually get into implementation part. So this was showing that part, that for example that we have a reach. Under reach, what are the possibilities there, that how the AI actually get implemented, and what is the value that it produces. Under act and so forth, convert and engage. So there's other slides to that, and it's a little bit more depth in conversation. So I think we are over time, and I apologize for have there's a lot more to talk about it, but I wanted to give you the gist of from from a very different perspective for AI, rather than just the how part, which is the implementation part, or the developing part. And I'm done, I think. Let's we go to the last slide, and that's my last information. That basically you guys feel free to reach out to me. I have my email address on my last slide. I'll be more than happy to address questions. Definitely sure expect a delay. We could jump on the last slide I have.
All right, thank you
Just
very much, sir. Um, but in the meanwhile, the other instructor, he had to leave. No problem. I'm going to explain what was in his presentation. Okay, Sir Hussain Shahbaz is going to be your instructor for this workshop. That is, we are going to work on. So you already know that he's. I shared it on the social media accounts that he worked in Six Sense organization for AI, and then in audit expert, and then he trained the AI, a group of students for artificial intelligence in Fast University. So this is the course outline he's going to follow for you. In the month of November, he will follow the machine learning, specifically machine learning things, and then in December he will follow the data science related tasks. So in the machine learning, he will tell you how to format your problems to be solvable, how to prepare your data for use in predictions. These things may seem like very abstract at this level, but you will learn it by the time. So I'm just going to read it for you because being so too abstract for you. How to combine the data with algorithms to create model that can predict the future. How to evaluate and improve the performance of the solutions you created. So the last step is quite important. So in the data science is basically the a field that contains few things from artificial intelligence, few things from neural networks, and few things from machine learning. And the machine learning and the neural networks are subsets of artificial intelligence. I know it is confusing at this stage, but you will learn it when you start this workshop. In the data science, you will work on a case study and you will complete that case study yourself. We will work on the projects, real-time projects also, and he asked me to convey that he wants you to be hardworking and consistent. That's it. He will cover remaining things himself. And if you have any question from Sir Tanveer, he is available. Instructor has left. So we have one question. I just checked it here. Someone asked about. I just checked it here. Why are we continuously moving towards the artificial world? So the question is quite interesting. I want to learn it to compete it. So can you read it?
yes, I can. So okay, I want to learn it to complete it and help humanity stay with natural things rather than artificial. Very good question, and I think so. Okay, let me get back to it now. I think that that's again, it's a fear. It's really fear coming out. It's a fear coming out that maybe the artificial intelligence is going to take over the world, and the human is going to become a useless as a lot of the tasks and jobs they do. No, that's not what it is. It's humans actually going to become smarter. Human, the one who actually developing and creating this technology. The only thing what we have to do as a human is have to evolve ourselves to get the full benefit and full utilization of the technology and learn a different way of doing things or different way to doing things better. And that's what it is. So it has nothing to do with humanity. It has nothing to do with humans. Matter of fact, is actually improving our humanity. And if you wanted to do something for humanity, you can be very creative and innovative, and you could create solutions that can help in the areas of where the humanity needs a lot of help. And artificial intelligence can help you the most. Um, I can go on another 10 minutes to explain to you how the AI can really could help the humanity. But I would suggest to you that do some research, Google it, and you'll get some ideas that how this can helpful to humanity. But there's a lot of things you could do to if you want to really help the humanity for people that are in different areas and trying to capture the different needs of which the data can be captured from the government, from the even any other countries, from a lot of nonprofit organizations, and you could put that together, and you could make some of the decisions that can help humanity in different ways. So it's definitely not going to harm that at all.
खाना खाना है?
Okay, so this question, the other question is, what is an artificial intelligence neural network? You'll definitely learn. That's one of the things that you're going to be learning in your class. Uh, but if you just wanted to know, if you just wanted a very um, a quick of it, um, it's basically the best thing is to I wouldn't want to confuse you. I think I don't want to answer that right now because let your instructor teach you the way he wants to teach you. My perspective that I'm going to give you is probably going to be very high level. So, and that's why should join the class to learn more details about it. I think that's probably the best thing I should say at this point. Okay. Any more questions? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I try to put a lot of information in a short period to give you a different perspective. My last uh, word of the day is that I would suggest that look at the artificial intelligence not from the implementation perspective. Look at from the why we're doing it and what are the needs that we are fulfilling and what solution we're providing. So if you have that in mind and you're looking more rationally, this will definitely put you in a very different level from the learner's side of it. And not even from the learner side of it, but also from even you are taking for any other reason, even just to know more about it, to how to even read the data, how to even to put this into a more rational perspective. So that will really lead you and make things more easier for you. But if you start thinking from only technology side of it and technical side of it, you may probably struggle it. Always ask your questions. Okay, well, we're developing something, and if we are even you're running an exercise, you're creating some exercise for your class, and treat it as a real world experience, right? Treat it as like, okay, why we reason we're doing this and what a solution we're providing here and what value. Don't forget about the value. If there's no value behind it, your whole effort is really not going to be going to have a fruitful return on that. So the value is the key there. I think we have another questions. So you asked me the question that's the reason we want to give you class, guys. These are very good questions, but I think let's save this question for your class to the instructor.
Kelasia böyle düşmesini
I'm sorry.
Someone is saying something. All right. Uh,
So just to the last question, the guidance I want to give is that depending what design tools you are mentioning, what exactly you meant by design tools. If you're talking about the design tools from the graphic processing side of it, it would have a different answers for you. Uh, but if you're talking about design tools as developing developing a AI solution, then the answer is different. So just to give you ideas on I don't know what exactly the design tool you're referring to, but both have a contribution to it, and both have a impact or utilization in a different way.
Okay, any other question? All right. With that, we end the orientation session. We will be in touch with the given number about the workshop and its registration and other things. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Hafiz.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Take care.
Walaikum salam. Thank you.